Question number 3, Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he have confidence in the Minister of Police, given crime rose by 5.5% in the last year?
Speaker.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, absolutely, because crime rates have fallen significantly over the term of this National-led government.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Why have burglaries gone up 7.8% and assaults gone up 9% in the past year alone?
The
Speaker,
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, I can't give you the exact answer to that because I don't know all of the reasons, but in some cases it will be more widespread use of drugs and some people feeding their drugs habit. There'll be one reason, there'll be many reasons. So.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Does he think burglaries going up 7.8% and assaults going up 9% has anything to do with the fact that he's failed to increase police numbers in line with a rising population?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, no, there are a variety of different reasons. I mean, one of them is that, for instance, when it comes to domestic violence, that has become a topic which is now more widely debated, exposed, and there's more reporting going on of domestic violence. So, Mr Speaker, no, I don't think that's the case. This is a government that put $300 million more into police budgets just in 2016 alone. The annual budget's gone from $1.2 billion to $1.6. There are hundreds more extra police under a national-led government and greater use of technology.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Why has he broken his 2007 promise, which went like this? He promised to, quote, improve the ratio of police to population beyond 1 to 500 from 2009.
Well, Mr Speaker, we have substantially increased the number of police. Mr Speaker, one of the things that we've been looking at in the time that we've been in government is to say that, of course, one way of measuring the number of police is to look at it on a ratio basis, but actually I think there's also other ways of looking at it more effectively. For instance, you know, when we look at the use of technology, which I think is a far better investment in a lot of ways, we've effectively gained 354 extra police. Now, you can put all of those things in the budget, but it is really sort of a slightly lazy way of thinking things just to dream up a number on the day of a police conference and claim that's a policy. You know, it's not really a policy, is it?
Supplementary.
Order.
Oh, spin master.
Order. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Why, when he promised in 2007 to have a 1 to 500 police ratio, does he not have a 1 to 500 police ratio 8 years on?
Mr Speaker,
the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
As I said, well, firstly, we've been investing considerably more. Secondly, there are different ways of measuring these things. Yes, the policies that we take into the 2008 election were quite a number of elections ago, but over time, Mr Speaker, you know, the government not only is investing more, but of course is looking at ways that we will continue to invest more, but just dreaming up a number, as the member did. The reason that he got coverage on page A7 or A9 of the Herald that was about this big was because no one actually believes he's going to be in a position to do it anyway.
Supplementary.
What an arrogant Prime Minister.
Order.
Arrogant.
Order. Supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Why has he spread the police so thin that almost 60% of police officers say they can't deliver on the promises they make to the public?
The Right Honourable Prime
Mr
Minister.
Speaker, I'm sure the police will always argue that they need more resources, but that's equally true of every publicly funded institution. They will always argue that they need more. Under this national-led government, there not only been 600 more police, but there's been 354 additional extra police in the sense of the technology that we have rolled out has allowed them to do that. The government is funding more for police resources and over time will give them more. But, Mr Speaker, I don't actually accept the argument that the police are under-resourced. I accept the argument that over time they can do with more, but they've had significant increases in the time we've been in the government.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Why has his government lost control of crime as it has on housing, health, education, immigration, traffic congestion, and when will he admit he is out of touch and out of ideas?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, if one looks at total crime in New Zealand since 2011, it's down 15%. Except in the last year, it's up 1.4%. There's also been an international trend, Mr. Speaker, to where both in OECD countries, crime has gone down a bit and crime has risen a bit. But overall, it's down 15%, which is actually pretty similar to Labour's polling since 2008 to now. It's down about 15%.